So you guys will remember that very recently we spoke about Gogo Skhotheni's visit to a certain church where she was preaching, and it became very concerning. What church invited Gogo Skhotheni? Now, this comment I did see on her Instagram page and also on my own comments. I did see this comment coming through. Ricky, what church was this one? Which one? But one thing for sure is that, in this church, they don't carry Bibles or anything like that. And so I was kind of like, oh, okay. It's one of those churches where they don't carry Bibles. They don't, So it's one of those kinds, So in the previous one, I had mentioned that if this was a church, this would be a joke. Now, I would like to say it's not a church. It's not a church. Now, the place is framed like a church. They have a pastor and they have they have services, but it's not a church. Okay, so just so that we are very clear. Don't worry, I'll show you why I say it's not a church. So you'll remember in my last comments, something I mentioned was this. It deserves it sitting with the four, because y'all write the jokes yourselves. You don't know God and you needed a sangoma to come and tell you. Let the jokes keep writing themselves. Y'all are jokes. You are a joke. You joke. Now, I said that if that was a church, right? So Bazalwani, I would like to just say, those words would apply if this was a church. This is not a church. Okay? It's not a church. And so I say that so that we can understand. If it's a church that invites people that teach contrary or that believe contrary to what they believe, it wouldn't make sense. It would be weird. It would be strange. But hey, nowadays, you can't really dictate. So, this is not a church. And so those words do not apply to them. If it was a church, then they have a concern. Now, if there's a person who's there who thinks it's a church, I don't know what you're talking about. I'd just like to say here with all honesty. Now, what is it that told me if I had found the right church, right? That's what I promised to show you in this video. I searched, I looked online, and I found this picture right here. Now, why did this picture tell me that I had found the right church where this was happening? It's because of this lady right here. The lady with the red hat and the badge thingy on her chest over there. Now, why was that a confirmation that I had found the right church? Is because that's the same lady that was dancing with Gogo Skhotheni at one point of the video. So I was like, okay, interesting. We found the right church. Okay. What kind of a church is this? So seeing that post, then it led me to finding the posters of this event. You can see right there, it says on the 9th of August 2024. So it is the right church. We found the church, which Gogo Skhotheni did not quote herself. She didn't put it in the thingy. She didn't pin it. Okay, I think the name of the church is called Royal Family Central. That's the name of the supposed church. Like if you are just applying the term church loosely. Like I said, to me, this is not a church. Okay, so it makes sense why they have Gogo Skhotheni preaching there or doing what sounds like preaching. Oh, it sounds like preaching. It's not preaching. And so you'll see on the thing it says the high tea with prophetess princess thingy there, okay? And says Masekwane. That's the name of the wife, I am guessing, because on the other picture we have a picture of the husband. Interesting. Right. So this is the event where Gogo Skhotheni was supposedly preaching and doing the whole 9 jazz. Now, when I did look through this page, I noticed something. I just kind of noticed, okay, maybe this is not a church. And one of the things that told me, yeah, it's not a church, was this video right here. You'll notice everybody's got a white hat or a white band or something like that. Some white on their head. So like they always have had white in their head. It's like, so I'm like, oh, okay. And I didn't just notice it because I was like, just like, oh, okay, we are wearing white. No, that was not the reason. That was not the reason why I noticed the white on their heads. Okay? I noticed the white on their heads because the pastor of the church also has a lot of white stuff on his head. Like he tends to have this theme of having something on his head, like some white, a lot. So I thought, okay, it's probably not random then. It's probably not random that they had the whole church almost is wearing white. So once I saw the pastor himself, and so in one of the pictures I saw, this is the pastor, he's standing there, he's wearing this white thingy on his head. So I was like, oh, okay, it's that kind of a church. And also you will notice that even at the background there, they have that background that you saw in the first picture. All right, cool, we are getting somewhere. But then I saw that in the page here, in the page of the person who is the pastor of this church, there is Credo Motua on his page. So I was like, oh, okay, we are getting somewhere. We are starting to understand this is not a church. Okay, this is a Ndumba, basically. It's a Ndumbrika. It's a Ndumberically. It's a Ndumberically place. Okay. Let me not crack myself up. Okay. It's a Ndumberically place. You can see even that crescent that I spoke about, which was on the ladies' chest, there it is on their thing. Now, not just that, you'll notice what is inside the logo. It's an ankh, the symbol of life from Egypt. It's an Egyptian symbol of life crowned there. They have this thing here. I'm not going to comment on that because that looks... Okay, in many places, this is meant to be a chest, like a shield. But the way they did the ends here, from Wicca, that it's a symbolism of the womb or the woman's private. Okay, so the way they ended it here, the way they are doing these ends here, it's meant to symbolize that. Now, I'm not saying that's what they made it for, but in Wicca, that's how they draw a symbol for things. So for them to have a symbol of life with the thing that's supposed to look like a crest, but then also at the same time it looks like a thingy, I just thought, interesting. And we are crowning this. Okay, no problem. It's not a big deal, guys. It's not a big deal. I just thought that was quite an interesting one. Because also later on, when I checked the pastor of this church, he had this white thingy, and also his wife also has a white thingy, and then they have this leopard thingy. Nothing wrong with leopard. Nothing wrong with it, Some people like a bit of leopard inside, a bit in the close vicinity. But then with him, having seen the Credo Motua and then seeing a white thingy with the thingy, I was like, it sounds like it's numberically starting to make sense, because then I found this here. So I was like, oh, okay, that's the pastor of this church believes in numerical actions. The whole numerical stuff. That's him right there. You see him there. And you see a lot of people with you have people on the sides there that are wearing numerical stuff. So it's clear here this is a church by the idea, but then they are a like in Ndumba kind of. They believe in Ndumbring and stuff like that. And so y'all can rest your case. Don't worry, it's not a church. If anybody tells you, hey, church there, you see what church people are doing, bringing some. No, it's not a church. It's not a church. It's one of those ones which mix African spirituality with Christianity. Yeah, it's one of those ones. And so it's not a church. They just looked like a church. Okay? They are a church by the sense of gathering and doing services, church services. That's us about churches. They go, but in their doctrine, you're going to find. When I listened to them, you couldn't really spot it, by the way, because a lot of their videos, they sound like they preach like Abu TD Jakes, Abu T, all the T's. They preach funny things. They preach like TD Jakes. You know, your blessing. You know, expectation, a bit motivational. They preach kind of like motivational. So yeah, we can calm ourselves down. It's good. We are getting used to this now. We're getting used so that we can just keep spotting. This is not a church. They say they are a church, but they are not a church in the sense of the word. We think church, we think a certain thing. It's a Ndumba, basically. They believe in Ndumbring and all that kind of stuff. He's a radio personality. It's a very big church. And so that's what it is. It's not a church. Not a church. And so using biblical thingy, no, it's not necessary. It does not apply there. So if it was a church, when I said these people are fooling themselves, yeah, it would have really applied to have Gogo Skhotheni. But because they are in Ndumba, believing church, y'all know what's up. So I just had to come back here so that we can understand. You know what? This is the norm. This is how you make a separation between believers and non-believers. If a person is in a church where sangomas are on the pulpit, it's not a church. Period. Not a church. Not here, not there, or anywhere. But within the sense of what they believe, they might make it a church, And so just wanted to clarify that so that you all are clear, don't have high blood pressure. Don't high blood yourselves. It's not a church within the sense of doctrine. They're not a church in the sense of Christ. No. They believe in ancestors and all those kind of things. Otherwise, the outfit of the pastor here says it all right? It tells you that this is a different kind of a commission that they go towards. And so, y'all have a good one. Hope this video does find you well. I will see you later on in the live stream. We have that at 7. And y'all have a blessed day. Yeah. And if anybody tags you on Gogo Skhotheni's thing, just tell them it's not a church. Calm down. It's not a church. We good. I'll see you later. Ne? Leave a shout.